Hey guys, it's Na and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this wig that I'm rocking. If you're interested in how I created this wig, please continue to watch. So I used a Gardenia Mastermix 4-piece pack to make this wig. Got my dome cap on my canvas head and I pre-threaded all my needles to make the process much faster. So I started sewing on the bundles and I started with the longest length, which is in the 22 inches. So I'm going to be doing the fold over method. I'm not going to be cutting my wefts. This also helps to prevent shedding. When sewing down my wefts, I make sure that they are super flat so I have a flawless wig. I had to press rewind because I forgot to install the lace frontal. You must install the lace frontal first to make sure that you get a nice flat laying frontal. And now I'm just measuring the frontal to make sure that it's centered. I'm putting in the T-pins just to make sure that the frontal is laying as flat as possible. Now I'm going to start sewing down the lace closure and making sure that I'm sewing it very close together to ensure that this lace closure, this lace frontal is laying as flat as possible. Beauties, I don't know how this slipped my mind. I just started sewing these bundles and forgot about the frontal, the closure. Come on now. Let's get it together. Good thing I only had about 2 wefts sewed down, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference. So I sewed down my lace closure from one side and worked my way around the perimeter. And this lace closure is a 4x4 closure, so I'm going to get really great parting space. I can part it in the middle, part it on the side. The lace closure is 16 inches in length, so I'm definitely going to be getting a really great volume look out of this hair, being that it's 2 inches in difference from each bundle. So when I sew my wefts down or my closure or my frontals down, I like to hold my thread in place to make sure that it does not get tangled. I hate that so much, especially when you're using very long thread that you've threaded. It can have a tendency to get tangled. So my little tip and trick is to hold the thread in place with one hand before I actually knot it, so that way I ensure that it does not get tangled. So this closure is almost completed and sewed down, and now we're going to move on to sewing down the rest of these bundles. Okay, I have not finished off the longest length, which is in the 22 inches, so we're going to get back on track and finish these bundles. So this closure is looking good. It's laying flat. Thank goodness for that. So I'm going to wrap it up and continue with the sewing of the bundles. Guys, I love this canvas head. I'm so glad that I purchased this. I told you guys about this in my previous videos, that it's new for me, but I'm getting the hang of it and I love it. It makes sewing down your wigs so much easier. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. I used to use a Styrofoam head, and let me tell you, big difference. Such a big difference. I love this canvas head. I will leave all the details of the products and the tools that I use in the description box below. So usually when I'm sewing down my wefts, towards the back, I do sew them a little more closer together, and then when I get to the second bundle, I tend to sew it a little more spaced out, and then when I get to the top, I try to sew it as close together as possible, so to prevent any gaps showing. So when my thread is completed, I make sure that I secure it. I tie the knots about 3 to 4 times, before I grab another needle and thread, just to ensure that it is anchored and it is secured. And as you guys can see, I am doubling the wefts. This actually helps with the spacing that I am going to create to make sure that nothing is showing through. You're not seeing any of the dome cap or anything like that. And we are almost finished with sewing down this wig. Guys, I was getting a little bit nervous because I was running out of some hair, but I managed to make it work. And I basically just, when I was pretty much done with sewing down all of the hair, I just made sure to bring the gap between the wefts and the closure. I made sure to kind of bring them together so that way you won't see that gap. So this wig looks like it's coming out great so far, and as you can see that gap there? I gotta merge the frontal and closure and the wefts together because we don't want any gaps. We don't want it to be looking crazy. We want it to look cute and flawless and flat. Okay. So now it's time to cut out that weave cap where the lace should be showing. We have to cut that part out because we do not want to see a black weave cap. We want to see some lace giving you some scalp vibes. And guys, I don't know what happened. My video just cut. Just be careful when cutting out that unnecessary weave cap from the lace. So this is the wig cap that I'm going to be using. It's a suede and lace material. So let's see how this wig is fitting. Okay, and no, got to be glue, got to be spray. Okay, but let me cut out the lace and lay these big baby hairs down. So I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors and cut down the center of this lace. And after I'm completed cutting down the center of this lace, I'm going to grab my eyebrow razors and I'm going to just take my time and cut off this lace and just, you know, kind of move slowly, but just ensure that I'm removing the lace. And then I'll do the same to the other side. Any excess lace that I can't cut with the razor, I will use the scissors. And I'm just cutting it in a not a blunt way, but I'm cutting in a kind of like jagged way so that the lace will look more natural to my hairline. And I really love the texture of this hair. It's like a spiral curl. They called it citron curl. And this Gardenia Mastermix, it sure is a lot of hair. You wouldn't think that it was looking at the package, but when it's all put in, it is a lot of hair. Like I was like pushing it back and it kept falling down in my face. I was just pushing it away so I can get this, you know, lace cut. But it's okay. It's a part of the process. And beauties, this is not easy. Cutting this lace on camera is so difficult. I have my mirror to the side. That's what I'm looking at, just to make sure I don't mess up this lace. And guys, I forgot to mention that this hair is synthetic hair and I am loving it. If you like to switch up your look a lot, this is the way to go. Gardenia Mastermix, they have a lot of different versions and different curl patterns and hair colors to choose from. And this particular one is in the color OTCOPPER. It's like a pretty reddish color and it's a two-tone. I think it's like a 1B or 1 in the roots. So I'm grabbing my Mitchel sculpting foam and applying it to the roots of my hair just to make my wig lay a little more flat. I do like the volume in the wig, but I just want it to be a little more smooth and flat on the top. Not completely flat, just a little bit flat. I'm going to take a clip just to help make the wig lay a little more flat. So I'm gonna grab my favorite instant control, edge control, to lay down my baby hairs. And guys, I don't know what happened to the footage, but you guys can't really see me do it from beginning to end, but it's okay. You guys, I think, got the gist of it, of how I laid them down. I didn't do too much to this closure. I just, you know, put mousse on my hair and instant control. I'm adding more mousse, as you can see, just to help lay down the wig even more. But I kept it pretty simple with this one, just to see, you know, what it can do without really, like, you know, tweezing it and trying to like super perfect it. So this is kind of is what it is situation, but I'm loving it. So I grabbed my Nars Foundation in the color Syracuse, and I am going to apply it with this brush and just put a little bit on the parting space and wherever the lace is peeking through, just to help to camouflage the knots. Ooh, it looks like I was getting a little bit too foundation happy, but it's okay. It's a long night. And we're gonna just, you know, wipe off the excess with my finger. So I'm just gonna be putting a little bit on the front of the lace just to help to conceal the knots. This is synthetic hair, so we're not gonna be bleaching it. So this is what we gotta do. So I wanted to see how this headband looked with this wig. I know that the headband trend is really in style now. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this wig. And bye.